Hey y'all, so welcome back to another episode of Ty is a Mother podcast with Shantae Renee. So y'all, I feel like it's been a little while, but not too long because when we did the Mother's Tea edition, and shout out to all the amazing moms who took their time out to share their testimony to be able to encourage other moms that was out there. And yo, I'm looking so forward to next year's Mother's Tea edition. So yes, I don't have no special guests today. We don't have no visuals or nothing like that because of the fact God placed something on my spirit that I have to share with you all, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't prolong the process. So here we are doing it like the other podcast, just a straight audio. But I'm not going to be on here long because I just want to share and um make sure I'm releasing what was placed on my spirit. So today's topic, y'all. Today's topic sit with myself. It sit with so many other moms that's out there. Today's topic is, what are you sitting on that God told you to release? What is it that God has told you? Yo, you know what? It's time for you to release this. I have given you something, but yet you haven't released it. And sometimes as moms, we get caught up in our daily lives of being a mom that we don't release what's been placed in our spirit. So I want to talk to y'all just quickly in two perspectives of this. Because sometimes when we hear release, sometimes we think of like negative things that come up, like, we're going to get into that part as far as like some negative examples. But sometimes what God is telling you release is not always negative. It's some positive things that He has placed on your spirit for you to release. So we're going to start off with that note. So I want to talk to these moms out there, and this even including me, because I don't want nobody to feel like I'm all in their business and God not in mine. Because I promise to you, He is definitely stepping on my toes with this one, y'all. So the positive things that we often hold on to, a lot of times we hold on to them because we're not ready for the shift. And when it's time for a shift or when it's time to elevate, we get nervous, we get scared, we get stuck in our comfort zone. So therefore, we don't release the positive things that God has given us. And I want to talk to those. Let's talk to the ones first with the business ideals. God has given you a vision, but your fear of professionals or being a professional keeps you from launching what God told you to do. You feel like everything got to be lined up. Like, I have to do this first. And I'm talking to me on this one, y'all. I have to have this in order. I have to do this. I have to do that. But yet God is like, hey, yo, I told you to start the business. Everything else going to fall in line. I'm going to connect you with the people who need to be in your corner, because when you're doing business things, and sometimes it's scary sharing your dreams or your gifts with other people because of the fact, you're not sure if they're gonna take care of your baby like you take care of your baby. So with things like that, allow God. You have to pray on that fear. You can't stay stuck in that. You cannot hold on to the planning stages when God already called you to execute that thing. He believed in you. He gave you the vision for a reason. Now I want to go to the people who thinking about schooling or even a degree. You see, on a degree that was never meant to just be paper. It was never just meant for you to hold that diploma. It was never meant for you just to say, oh, okay, I did this, checked it off my list. It is a purpose tool, y'all. God set you up for whatever that degree was. It doesn't even have to be just a degree. It could be a trade, a certification, like whatever that piece of paper was that you received because you worked hard, you went to the classes, you did the hours, you put in the work in and things like that. But yet you're not doing nothing with it. Instead, you just using it as a paper tool. And that's not what God called you to do. Maybe God is calling you to even return to school. You're delaying the process because of fear, because of doubt, or because you're so busy as a mom, you can't take that time out for you. No, girl, if He placed it on your spirit, yo, like, it is your time. It's your time. So don't let none of that stuff just stand up in front of you because you feel like, yo, I can't. Yes, you can, because He gave it to you. So let's talk about the people who has not released their gifts or their talents. Let's talk to those moms. You're anointed, you're skilled, and you even favored, but yet you hiding behind excuses. You're hiding behind the excuse of what they may think about me. Let me tell y'all, I have been subliminal text messages. Subliminal uh Facebook posts, Instagram posts. I have been talked about in people group chats and things like that. But yet I can't worry about what they say because of the fact they've got some stuff going on. There's some stuff they need to take up with God about. They don't got nothing to do with me, because a lot of times people make up stuff about you anyway because it's something dealing with them personally. That's not your problem. Let them take that up with God. You don't delay the gifts or the talents that He have given you because you're fearful for what somebody may say, what they may think. Man, none of that stuff matter. If God thought so highly of you to give you your gifts and your talents, don't sleep on it. You have to make sure that you're not just waiting for a perfect time. God is telling you to go. The perfect timing is when He tell you to go, which is now. Don't sleep on it. He is telling you, yo, I need you to release this. So please listen to Him when He tell you this. And what about this? The last one for my positive ones, because then I'm gonna shift it to some of the negative things that we haven't released. So what about my moms out there? You know you got a ministry calling, or or you could be like how I was, like a public speaker. Because I hid behind that title. I hid behind Shantae Renee Speaks or Shantae Renee Empowers as a public speaker. But I also think it was setting me up because of the fact I was never, in my mindset, I never thought I was going to be a public speaker at all, because of my dialect, because of my speech impairment growing up. Like, I was in speech all throughout elementary school, y'all. So with all these things that I had going on, because even now I still get twisted and caught up in my words. So I would not think I would be the one to get in front of people to speak. I got a strong dialect. You, like, if I get mad, you gonna hear that New Orleans come out of me real fast. And I be trying to suppress that part, but sometimes, it comes out. But yet I can't stop myself because of something. If God told me to speak something, or He's calling me and telling me, okay, I need you to do this ministry thing, I am finally running, y'all, because eyes are tired. Eyes are so tired of running from what God has told me to do. And I'm here to encourage you. If you know for a fact God said, well, you know what, you got a ministry in you, daughter, I need you to go ahead, write it down and get it out. And make sure, and just because you have a ministry calling, make sure you have a mentor, make sure you have a covering. Because let me tell you, you can't be out here saying this is my ministry with no covering. That covering is so important and so critical to this next chapter in your life that you're going to need it, because that devil, first of all, you want to make sure you have somebody praying over you and somebody that can advise you in the right way. That's that. You know what I mean? But you want to make sure you're covered, because when the devil also know that you have a calling, you have this gift on you, you best believe he gonna do what he got to do to try to destroy you. So you don't want to just be out here in the world trying to deliver and to save the people, but yet you don't have nobody covering you. So that's my thing with that one, y'all. So just make sure, if you have that minister calling, just know delayed obedience is still disobedience. And I had to admit to myself that I was being disobedient for a long time. I always wondered, God, how far I would have been by now if I was just obedient. But hey, we lined up now. But I'm like, all right, God, tell you, girl, what you need me to do, because I'm rolling with it. I can't do that no more. So if you know it's in you, let that thing be birthed. Let it be released. So let's switch it just for a moment. Let's talk about the negative things that we refuse. What are some negative things that we refuse to let go? That's really blocking our next. God has told you to release this, but yet that's a block that you're creating, not God. You're creating it because you won't release it. So let's talk about the ones who are in these unhealthy relationships. Yes, we all been there. I can speak for myself. I have sat in an unhealthy relationship that I knew I was supposed to be out of, but I didn't listen. You're still sitting in something that God already exposed. God has showed you so many signs about these people, about this person, and yet you still holding on because of the comfort. You're so comfortable with I can't even get my words out. You're so comfortable in this situation, and you just gonna allow the history to just keep you in place. That's costing you your peace. I had to slow down on that one because I felt myself getting hyped up. You're in a place where that history is keeping you in a place where it's costing you your peace. Your peace is bothered, but yet you won't release this relationship. Once you get to a place, once you realize your peace is more valuable than that relationship, then you're going to be able to let it go. And it may be hard because that's your norm, especially for us. Like we be in relationships, but okay, I talk to this person every day at this time. We do this at this time. Like everything is comfortable, but that thing is unhealthy to you. Nothing about it is your peace. Nothing about it is your safe place. But yet you're still holding on. And let's lead us into the friendship that has expired. Yeah, y'all, we still hanging out with some people who we know God has told us, you know what, girl, that friend is not your friend, and you still holding on to this friendship. And why? Just because you've been knowing us since elementary school? Let it go. Let it go. You got to release it. You know what I mean? You have every friend isn't your friend forever. Some friends gonna come into your life for a season. And that's what it is. It's just a season, and seasons change. So don't get so caught up where you still holding on to summertime, but yet we in the winter, it's snowing and everything else. And then you in the fall, and then the weather is changing, but yet you still holding on to this same friendship that you've been having, but it's not healthy for you. Let it go. Let it go. And just because you've been knowing, like, just because you knew then doesn't mean they are aligned with what's your next. They're not in the next story of your chapter. They have fulfilled whatever that assignment was. So don't mess this up with your alignment with God because you're still holding on. Okay? So the next one is, what about some jobs? Jobs God has told you to leave. God has told you several times, you know what, girl, it's time for you to leave this job. I need for you to go ahead and believe in me. You prayed more and more for a new job, but yet you won't leave because you're familiar with this spot. You know what time lunch is, you know what time you get on in and you do your work, and then once you get to this point you pretty much have free time and all this stuff, and but yet you're still in your comfort zone. God want to elevate you to a new pay level, but you stuck right here in your same element because you're so familiar with it. And the unknown, I'm going to be honest with you, leaving one job position going into something unknown is scary. You don't know the people around there. You don't know how the schedule goes. But one thing you do know for sure, that is God is with you. So if he's with you, he's going to make sure that you are lined up. So that's just so critical, y'all. And see, I'm on my last point for my negatives, y'all. For the negative things that God has told you to release. I'm talking to the minds out here who have the old mindset. I'm sorry, who has the old mindset, or they stuck in self-doubt. Those are some things you have to release. You have to release that old mindset, or you can't sit around saying, "Well, I'm not good in this. I mean, I'm not good enough for this, or I'm not good enough for that." No. God pours into you daily. The more time you spend with him, the more he pours into you. So those negative self thoughts, you're gonna have to sit down and give yourself some self affirmations to let you know that I'm that chick. I'm that chick. Yeah, I probably did this back in the day. I used to be out here clubbing and doing this and smoking weed, all this stuff or whatever, but that's not the same mindset you have right now. So you can't keep doubting yourself because of something that you did in your previous time. You in a new season. So don't beat yourself up behind those things. You keep thinking of the small when God gave you the big vision. He trusts you enough to give you the vision, but you can't think small no more. God say, I'm a big guy. I do big things. Like, don't try to pull up and make it seem like I'm short, because he's not. You can't step into your next level with the last season of thinking. It is not possible. So you got to allow yourself to rebuild your mindset. Like, that mindset is so critical when it comes down to releasing things. And when you're changing your mindset, you finally able to release the toxic, release the pain, release the things that have been unforgiving that you've been holding on to. But yet God is like, let me feel those voids. Let me feel that pain. Let me feel that trust. I know they did you wrong, but let me in so I can help you release it. And once you release it, we can get through this together. So y'all, that's all I had. I wanted to talk to you about the things that we have not yet released that's positive, and also the things we have not released that's negative in our life that's hindering us. If God trusts you with the vision, he's waiting on your yes. That yes word is so small. It's only 3 letters, but it's so powerful. Can you think about when you tell your kids, they come at you, hey, can I have a snack? Y'all, Nella Ray always want the orange bag of chips. The orange bag is the Cheetos. And if I tell her no, she feels so defeated and crying and rolling all out and stuff like that. But once I tell her, baby, yes, y'all, she gives me a happy dance. She start doggone singing and stuff like that. And just imagine when you give God your yes, how happy and ecstatic he's gonna be behind what you telling him. And whether if it's you letting go of something good or something toxic, obedience leads to blessings. Your obedience is what's gonna make him say, you know what, my girl is ready for the next. But yet he's waiting on you. And I just want to leave y'all like with Romans 8:28, y'all. I know sometimes y'all hear this. It's something that we able to go to, but think about it. Romans 8:8, I mean 8:28 say, and we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose for them. Remember, he's saying that they are called to the purpose of them. Like, you got to make sure you in his purpose. You lined up. You can't just be out here doing whatever you want to do. But once you start releasing stuff, God gonna show you what to do. So y'all, that's all I have on today. I just want y'all to think about this week, this weekend, or whenever you listen to this. Think about these questions, okay? And do give yourself some homework. And the first one is, what ideal, gift, or goal you are sitting on because of fear? What is it? What ideal, gift, or goal you are sitting on because of fear? And I want you to write that thing out. What are some relationship or jobs are you holding on to because it's comfortable and not purposeful? What relationship or job you're holding on to because it's comfortable? And my last question is for y'all. What would happen if you fully trust God with the release? Think about it. What would really happen if you trust God with the release? What it's so many things that he wants to blow your mind with. The things that you can only sit back and say, you know what, that was only God that made that happen because there's no way I did that. Like, he's waiting on you, y'all. And I'm speaking to me. He's waiting on me because it's things that I know he had planted in me that I have to release. And I'm praying right now during this season that, God, you release the things that I need to release, that you release the things that my sisters need to release, that these moms need to release. Whoever may be listening, God, I pray that you allow them to just release it and to believe and trust in you, and that knowing that you are the God of all things, God, and you are the way maker, and you are the one who put things in us and pour into us and sit with us during our times where we just crying out, and God, when we confused and uncertain about things, and just believing and trusting that you are the one that gonna make a way out of no way, God. And we just know that you are building us and equipping us and placing us around the people that we need to be around, and removing those who need to be removed, and allowing just great things just to even store upon us, God. And I'm just believing and trusting that the person who is listening to this, God, even if they are in tears right now, if they feel like they broken or they confused, that you wrap your arms around them, God, and love them like never before. Love them in a way that no man can love them. Love them in a way that they mama can't love them. Love them in a way that they daddy can't love them. No way that they sister can love them. Only that you can love and restore and give that person peace, and give that mama just a thought of just knowing that, you know what, today may be a rough day, but God, you know what, at the end of the day, it's still a great day because you are the one that are in control of all these great things, guys. So we just saying thank you in advance, God, for what you're going to do, and for the things of how you want to show up and just show out during this season. And we know that it's already done, guys. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you, God, for what you're doing and what you have done. And we're going to have the victory no matter what man or what people may say, God. We will have that victory, and allow us just to give that self affirmation to ourselves, and just speak to ourselves, speak life into ourselves daily. So, God, I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you in advance, because, God, we have to give you praise first on everything that we do. on everything that we do. And we claiming nothing but great things in Jesus Christ's name. I do pray. Amen. God, I know I didn't even say that's going to prayer, but you had shifted me in a way that I had to just pray in that moment. So to my sisters who are listening, these mothers are that are in tune with Just Tired as a Mother podcast, I just want to tell you thank you. Thank you for listening and being just supporting me in every way. So y'all, that is it for this episode of Tired as a Mother podcast. I will look forward to talking to you all next month. Y'all have a great one.